Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, Capital Markets Analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to take a look at the top 10 cannabis news stories of the week, starting with number 10. There's a new cannabis bill in Antigua that has Mike Tyson's ranch headed for the Caribbean. Apparently, there's a Caribbean expansion in the works for the Champ's California-based cannabis company, Tyson Ranch. The former heavyweight champ and baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson, is expanding his cannabis empire and in the process, smoking $40,000 worth of weed a month. That's a lot of weed, Mike. That is a lot of weed. So Antigua's new marijuana regulations have created an attractive for new cannabis markets and opened the doors for entrepreneurs to invest in the region. I can't imagine that the island of Antigua is a great opportunity. If Mike had some really good advisors, he'd probably already know about Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico being the only place in the world that an American can go and work and not have to pay federal taxes. So instead of paying 20% federal taxes, you go to Puerto Rico and you don't pay it. Problem is you can't really export. So you'd have to wait for federal legalization, but in the meantime, start selling your CBD stuff, and then that's your tax break right there. So I don't understand why people go to Jamaica and Antigua and all this other stuff when literally Puerto Rico is the best place in the world for any CBD and or THC company to have an operations out of. Number 9, psychedelic reform campaign collects thousands of new signatures during Black Lives Matter. Number 8, cannabis experts say Elon Musk's outspoken support is helpful, but additional action is needed. So in case you haven't seen Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, he said selling weed literally went from major felony to essential business opening during pandemic in much of America, and yet many are still in prison. Doesn't make sense, isn't right. So Elon Musk became one of the most notable names lately to use their platform to stoke conversation. In the early hours of June 6th, he tweeted about the disparity that finds thousands of people in jail for selling cannabis while the market becomes increasingly legal. So legalize it already. It's going to happen. People need that money. Not only that, but it's also racist. So obviously just as many white people smoke cannabis as black people, and yet the majority of black people in prison is incredibly outnumbering that of white people for the same crime. So just legalize it. Number 7, Champion Brands selects Dalrydia drug discovery to advance a ketamine and psilocybin portfolio. Number 6 is the NBA pro marijuana now. So the National Basketball Association is going to return July 31st under a bubble system in Orlando. So not only did the head of the NBA's player union join the board of Cresco Labs, the league suspended testing for marijuana use entirely. All right, number 5, psychedelic businesses develop changing the stigma of the word psychedelics. Number 4, Ricky Fowler is going to promote Caden Woods Level Select Products. That's a seed-to-shelf CBD company, naming a pro golfer, Ricky Fowler, as brand ambassador. Number 3, Colorado activists likely to pursue a 2022 psilocybin ballot measure after the polls show support. Number 2, Champion Brands investor update. There's a name change, corporate rebranding, and planned CPG spin-out. Great. Number 1, Red, White, and Bloom. The reason I say great is because these are just penny stocks. This is all press. This is cannabis penny stocks circa 2013. They aren't making money, and Bruce Linton is running this show. Just look what he did for Canopy. He did nothing. So buyer beware. That's all I'm saying. Number 1, Red, White, and Bloom closes a landmark High Times deal. We're going to do an entire podcast on High Times because everything they touch turns to trash. As long as Red, White, and Bloom is in charge of branding, it might work. But everything else that High Times tries to implement and do crumbles, falls apart, absolute disaster. So wait for that episode. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.